How many days after menses will you ovulate if your cycle is 28 days? If you're joining this video right now, please do it to take your pen, your paper, because I'm going to explain a whole lot. This video has been done several times when it comes to this particular question. And unfortunately, most of our sisters, when we come, we don't usually go back to watch the videos, the previous videos. I want to encourage everyone, whenever you come, make sure you try and watch the previous videos. When you know your cycle, in this situation, her cycle is 28. She menstruates for 3 days. So the work is much more easier. If you don't know your cycle, then you have to go back and calculate your cycle. But for those who know their cycle, in this situation, it is 28. So what do? You first of all get the normal ovulation. For a 28-day cycle, when will the person ovulate? How do you get ovulation? Ovulation is gotten by subtracting 14 from your cycle length. So if you subtract 14 from 28, the answer will be 14. If your cycle was 30, you subtract 14 from 30, the answer becomes 16. If your cycle is 22, subtract 14 from 22, the answer is 8. But in this situation, the cycle is 28, so 28 minus 14, it gives us 14. But her question is not about this particular 14. Her question is, after menses, when would the ovulation be? So what you do is you remove the days of menstruation. So you remove how many days? There are 3 days. She menstruated for 3 days. So you remove that 14, that's 1 day. Remove 13, that's 2 days. Remove 12, that's 3 days. Therefore, mean that person will ovulate on day number 11 of her cycle. If this person was a 30-day cycle, you do the same. It's the same formula. 30 minus 14. What do you get? You get the normal ovulation day. But if the person says she menstruated for 3 days, she wants to know how many days after that 3 days will she ovulate. After you have subtracted your 30 minus 14, the answer will be 16. Then remove the 3 days from that 16. That answer now gives you the ovulation after menstruation. So if the cycle is 30 days, it becomes 30 minus 16, minus 14, ovulation becomes 16. But now after menses, you subtract the 3 days of menstruation. So we remove 16, remove 15, and we remove 14. So ovulation occurs on the 13th day after menses. So after menses, the person counts 13 days for a 30-day cycle. If your own cycle is, let's say, 25, you do the same thing, the same formula. 25 minus 14 to get the normal ovulation day. Remember that the formula to minus 14 and get the ovulation day, this is the normal ovulation day that includes the days you menstruate. But if the days of menstruation are removed, how many days after that will you? Depending on how many days you menstruate, if it is 25, like we said, 25 minus 14, normal ovulation is day 11. So you remove, if the person menstruates for 3 days, you remove 11, 10, and 9. So the person will ovulate on the 8th day after menses for a 25 days cycle. I've taken time to explain this such that if your own question is, I'm menstruating on this date, when is my ovulation? You will not know. You need to first of all learn how many days cycle you are. Once you know, you then do this same thing we have done here. Subtract the ovulation, subtract 14 from your cycle in order to get a normal ovulation day. Then after that, now you now remove the days that you menstruate to now get how many days after menses you will actually ovulate. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to follow. If you're interested in a fertility follow-up, please inbox me, pay for it. My inbox is only for persons who are interested in a follow-up. I don't respond to questions from the inbox. So if you're inboxing me, it's not to ask questions, but rather to say you want to register. If you're in Cameroon, presently it's 5K. Out of Cameroon, to register is 30 US dollars. Don't forget to follow my live streams that I do between 8, 9, 10 in the morning Central African time, as well as 8, 9, 10 in the evenings Central African time as well. May God bless you all. To have a beautiful time. I wish the very best to every woman trying to get pregnant. May the good Lord make it much more easier for you all. Thank you.